did you know that oxytocin actually does that to your body and is more than just a lovely
horny hormone, you know?
Hello my little darlings and welcome back to another video here on my channel. Yes indeed, and today we are far out. Yes indeed, because today it's Valentine's Day of course. And we are gonna do a makeup look together. Anyway, if you're wondering why I am watching that direction, is because I can monitor the sound waves right over there. And I don't want it to be screechy peachy. Yes indeed, so you know. But today we are gonna do a love inspired makeup look. And it's not a conventional, you know,
sassy, sweet and cute and fresh and
virginity eyes
that we're gonna do today, because we are gonna do something more avant-garde and artsy-fartsy. Yes indeed. You have already seen the thumbnail of course, and you are probably just dying to see this transformation. And while we're doing that, we are also gonna, you know, talk about the love hormone that actually makes us fall in love. Yes indeed. So before we jump into the video, please don't forget to press that like, subscribe and notification icon down below so you can become a part of the DarlingSquad and the Digazmo family as well. So yes indeed, I have moved you in a little bit closer because I felt so far away and disconnected when, you know, we were all the way back here. Yes indeed. So we are gonna do some makeup today, and while we're doing that, we are of course gonna talk about the love hormone oxytocin. Yes indeed. And while we are doing that, I will, you know, prime my face, I will put on some foundation, you know, and I will not, you know, dwell on those parts too long, because the important part of this look is actually the colors and the shadows and that sort of stuff, you know. So for primer today, I will just use this Hydro Expert from CN. Yes indeed. And I still have some of that, you know, skin renewal treatment in this brush, so I will just, you know, dip into this moisturizer and use it as a primer, because this contains dimethicone, and dimethicone is, you know, what's in every skin clogging, no, pore minimizing primer. Yes indeed, and that is why I actually bought this moisturizer, because it is infused with hyaluronic acid, and with dimethicone, you know, it will make the skin really smooth and make foundation and makeup just glide on real effortlessly. Yes indeed. Hyaluronic acid is also really good for, you know, retaining moisture in your skin, so, you know, it's always good with some extra moisture when you are as dry as me. Yes indeed. Now we are just gonna let that dry down for a little moment. Yes indeed. And then we're gonna move right over to my foundation. Yes indeed, now it has sunken into the skin really good, or, you know, I do believe it has sunken into the skin really good at least. And now we're gonna move over to foundation, because I am in dire need of some, you know, coverage, because my under eye bags and everything is just real horrid. I look
horrendous
today, I can't help it, I am sorry. That is why we are just gonna move over to foundation real quickly. And for foundation today, I will use the Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation. And this is a really nice high coverage foundation, because, you know, we really need that coverage today, because this looks not good. Yes, the love hormone oxytocin is a peptide hormone. Yes indeed. Let's just go the basic chemistry while we are doing this. And besides you being, you know, a peptide hormone, it's also a neuropeptide, or, you know, a brain chemical. Yes indeed. And it's produced, of course, in the paraventricular nucleus of the hypothalamus. Yes indeed. So fancy with chemistry, I can die right now. And is released by the posterior pituitary. I can't, you know, I don't know if even that's a real word, because I can't pronounce it, but still. So it's a brain chemical, it makes you feel really good about yourself and everything around you, you know. Besides being just a love hormone, it's really good for your overall well-being. That's why it's so nice and feels so good, you know, when you are freshly falling in love. Yes indeed. And, you know, it doesn't just play a part in falling in love, you know, it's really important for social bonding, you know. And it's released whenever you get close with somebody, you know. Bodily contact is always nice, and it releases a shitload of oxytocin every time you know, cuddle up to your special somebody, or, you know, special non-body. Non-body. You're special nobody if you are, you know, a sucker for one night stand. And you know, it's also real vital for bonding with your baby if you have a baby, and in women it's actually released when your uterus and cervix are contracting, and it makes your nipples pointy and ready to, you know, feed that baby when it plops out of your womb, you know. Now we're gonna go in with some concealer, and I'm gonna use the Concealer Defined Concealer from Revolution, and I'm just gonna go really light with the concealer, you know. Or, you know, let's go a little bit heavy, you know, because I really need that coverage. And even though this is the completely wrong color, I will just use it anyway because I can't stand looking at myself in the mirror with those under eye bags. Those were not cute, you know, not worthy of some oxytocin release when my cervix is contracting. Oxytocin is not just released by, you know, your uterus contracting, because it's actually released by bodily contact as well. And when you're cuddling with someone or something, or, you know, your pet maybe, or you hug your friends, you know, every time you get in contact with your body, with somebody else's body, there is, you know, a cascading release of this peptide hormone. So, you know, it makes you bond and everything, and it also makes you feel really good. We have all, you know, some time in our life, we all have felt this feeling, I really just need a hug. When something feels, you know, really bad in your life, you know, or you're feeling really sad or anything like that, you know, and you just feel like, damn, I just really need a hug right now. That is because your body is, you know, craving that oxytocin to make you feel good about yourself again. Yes, indeed. So thank your body for knowing what you need when you don't know it yourself. And we are just gonna bake my face a teensy tiny bit, you know. Yes, indeed. And while that bakes on my face, we are gonna go in and contour a little tiny bit, and I'm just gonna use this fancy little component from CN. It's their compact
powder
in the color medium, and that is my preferred contour shade as of now, because it's the only contour that is, you know, cold enough to actually contour with, and I can't understand why I can't find a good contouring powder, you know. I have found a real nice contouring stick nonetheless, and that is really nice because that is also really hard to find. Yes, indeed, my darlings. Did you know that oxytocin actually does that to your body, and is more than just a lovely
horny hormone, you know.
And did you know that it were a thing that were called oxytocin from the start, you know? And it would be nice to hear if you have paid attention in biology class, you know, in school and that sort of stuff. And you know, you can also tell me down below if you have felt that feeling sometime that you just really need a hug. And when you have actually gotten that hug, everything just feels a little teensy tiny bit better perhaps, you know. Or maybe it didn't. Now let's just wipe my bake away, you know. And I feel like I baked my forehead real big, so let's just go in and contour that some more. Yes, indeed. And today is of course Valentine's Day, or, you know, it were Valentine's Day a few hours ago, you know, or it will be in a few hours depending on where you live and when I actually get this video up, you know, because I can't seem to keep my schedule. So let's not dwell on that. Now my base is on and it looks actually real nice today, you know. I might be a little bit too pale, and my forehead is, you know, really contoured to the gods and highlighted and that sort of stuff, you know. But that is of no matter because we are gonna go in with some eyeshadow. So let's just zoom, you guys, right into my horrendously lazy-eyed base. Hello and welcome to my eyes, or, you know, my face, the really big, you know, prominent face. Yes, indeed. And excuse if my eyes are a little bit red or yellowish, or my stare or my gaze is real drugged out. It's because it is drugged out. I am on new medication, of course, and it's still in my body. I do not want to take it anymore, so I have just quit taking it. And it's, you know, purging itself from my system, and I look like I have been doing drugs for my entire life. So, to begin this extravagant look, we will actually start with our eyes. Yes, indeed. Because my eyes will go in the same color scheme as the rest of my face, you know. And I will use a mixture of this Passion of Stockholm palette. Yes, indeed, because I have so many lovely shades I can dye. And of course, I will use some of the shades from the Sof X DOS Nails Extra Spice palette. And I got real weak right now because it has some real lovely shades in that as well. And of course, my BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette. Yes, indeed, because it has some real nice purple and blue tones as well. Yes, and I don't know where that radio voice came from. Yes, indeed, now it's time for my eyes. And I will actually start out with a real light purpley shade, you know. I do not have a nice light purpley shade in any of these palettes. I have my makeup in these little caskets, and I do have some loose shadows in this thingy right here. Yes, indeed, and I did have a purple. So, for today's makeup look, yes, I said it the right way. I will try to do a inverted look from what I did last time, you know. So I will have a purple to a blue gradient with a dot of pink sparkle in the inner corner. Yes, indeed. And then I'm gonna do the oxytocin molecule on my face. You probably already knew that because the thumbnail of this video is of my makeup look. And I will use this pretty shade from H&M, which is called Violacious. Yes, indeed. Because it's a really nice light purple shade, you know, and it goes in that blue tone. So that will be, you know, real nice to put in my crease as a transitioning color. But, you know, it's not very pigmented, so I can't, you know, recommend these shadows if you want something really pigmented. So, what are your plans for Valentine's Day, my darlings? I do feel like Valentine's Day is actually a real big holiday for many, you know, and it's really important for many people to actually have a Valentine's on Valentine's Day. But let me tell you this, if you don't have a Valentine's on Valentine's Day, please don't feel sad about it, because it's not that deep, you know. I mean, you don't die if you don't have a Valentine's, and don't let anyone tell you differently, because you can't have a Valentine's every year if you are single, you know, and used to hook up with a guy or a girl or a dog or whatever you are interested in, you know, is not a good idea, you know, to just have someone on Valentine's Day. It will just give you a lot more heartbreak and heartache than you already have because of the fact that you don't have a Valentine's on Valentine's Day. And please, my darlings, spare yourself those feelings if you can. I do feel like loneliness in our society is a little bit, you know, stigmatized, you know. If you're lonely on, you know, those big holidays, you are like the saddest person alive. And that can't be further from the truth, my darlings. Yes, indeed, Violacious is on now. I just feel like we should start to go in with the purple shades. Yes, indeed. And I will go for these little more cold toned purples right down there. Yes, indeed. Let's start with that right down in that corner. And this is a real bright purple shade, so let's hope this goes well. Ooh, that were much better, my darlings. Yes, indeed. I do believe we can manage this look today, you know. Yes, indeed. And as usual, I have one good eye and one a little bit non-good eye. But I do feel like we are gonna get this right today, my darlings. I feel this look
flowing through my veins today.
Now we have that purple going on, and I am starting to feel real happy with the results. Yes, indeed. So now I do feel like it's time to go in with some darker purples. Yes, indeed. So I will start to go in with that purple right there, and I will plop that just in my crease and my outer corner, and let's hope I don't f this up, because I usually do that. Yes, indeed, my darlings. Now, it's time to go in with some blue shades. Yes, indeed, and I do feel like that really light blue one right up. Yes, indeed, because I do feel like doing a too dark of an inner corner with this look would just look real
horrendous indeed.
Let's try to do a little gradient, shall we?
Ooh.
It actually gradiates together real nicely. Yes, indeed. It actually looks real nice indeed, actually.
Actually.
Like I am impressed with myself, you know. Yes, indeed. Now, while we have this lovely gradient going on, let's go in and cut my crease. Yes, indeed, use the inner portion so we get a little bit more of a cleaner space. And I will use the concealer, the fine concealer.
For that, of course.
I will dab that on my hand, you can't see, and I will just gently, just give myself a nice new tacky base like that. And I did succeed with my cutting today. Now, while my base is still tacky, I will go in with this Cosmetic Connection Iron Shake Palette because I am really intrigued by that blue glitter or that really light blue, almost white glitter. I do believe that will go really lovely with this look, you know. So let's just take a flat-sided, little denser, more fluffy brush, you know. I have not the same energy as I had in the last video. I am sorry for that, but I am on withdrawal from my beta blockers. Yes, indeed. So that is why I just feels and looks like a goddamn turd today, because I feel like a goddamn turd today. But let's go in with that little darker blue shade. Something like that.
Yes, indeed.
And you know, while we're at it, we can just plop some purple shimmer on my outer corner just to make this a little bit more cohesive. Yes, indeed. Now, to finish those eyes off, I will actually go in with this e.l.f. blender brush and I will stamp some pink on my inner corner. Yes, indeed. And then I will smudge my under eyes with some pink as well. And I will go in, of course, with a real bright pink just because I can, and let's just stamp that on my inner corner. Ooh.
Yes.
Now it's time to smudge my under eyes, and I will smoke them with that real intense pink down there, you know. And let's just hope that goes away, because I really want some pink in this look, even though, you know, it's not your conventional type of Valentine's Day look. Yes, indeed. Oh my god, it got really blown out on that side and not that blown out on that side. So let's try to fix that. Like that, my darlings. Let's just use an angled fat brush and try to help this out. Now, let's go in with some light blue on that inner corner as well to really make that gradient more prominent. Now, to finish this eye look off, I will put some shimmer on my brow bone, and then we will continue on to my forehead. And for shimmer on my brow bone today, I will use this Ultra Cool Glow palette from Makeup Revolution, and I will use a little flat-sided brush, and I will just pick some of that light blue shimmer up on that brush, and I will just stamp that. And you know, I feel like I have done a little bit more of a guy shadow today than I usually do. Usually I just drag my shadow right up to my eyebrow, but today I have actually not done that. So let's just do it like that, because now my forehead is the grand number. Now we are gonna do some elaborate pinkish shit, bluish purplish stuff on my forehead. Yes, indeed. So I will go in with that violacious color on a bigger, fatter, fluffier brush, and I will just start to give myself a light wash of color with this. Yes, indeed. I do believe we should just skip that purple and we should go in with some blush instead and make my forehead pink as the color of the Virgin Mary's. But you know, we have a nice dark gradient going on up in there, and let's just leave it at that, you know. And now I will go in with this real pink blush right there, and I will just blush up my forehead so it becomes real pink, and then we're gonna do something. It's real simple, but it's also really hard. I can't explain it. You will see what I mean when I actually do it. Yes, indeed, my darlings. Now I have some blush all over my forehead. Yes, indeed. But I do feel it's a little bit, you know, too non-intense for me. So I will actually just drag my brush all over those pink shades right there. And I will go in and gently try to deepen that up.
Ooh.
Ooh, that pink gradient is making me all wet and wild right now. We are gonna take some of that really bright blue shade and we are just gonna, you know, continue gradiating this a little bit further down, you know, just so, you know, to get a cohesive, nice little look. And, you know, I am not sure about what I'm doing with this color gradient. Let's imagine I know what I'm doing. Yes, indeed. And some purple as well. Now, it's time for the time-consuming part because I am gonna, you know, do the oxytocin molecule on my eyes. On my eyes? No, on my forehead. Yes, indeed. And I don't know if I have a good enough liquid eyeliner for that, but let's hope I do. Yes, indeed. And I'm gonna start from this side and work myself up towards my forehead because it's a goddamn big ass molecule and I am gonna do my best at recreating that. Yes, indeed. Let's just get this going, shall we? I have not my trusty, but it's a eyeliner nonetheless. It's from Claudia Cosmetics.
Yeah.
Claudia Cosmetics is a Swedish brand, of course. Waterproof eyeliner. Yes, indeed. So let's just try and use that, shall we? And my camera might die, just so you know. So let's just try this, shall we? That was drier than my... You know what, my darlings? I ditched that liquid eyeliner thingy because that would have never worked in a billion years. You see, I have already, you know, I have redone this part of my face because I just wiped it all away. I will instead use a little lip brush. You don't need to see it in any case. Because I found a different picture, I will insert it right beside me right here and I will try to do that molecular structure instead. Yes, indeed. So I might just connect little colored dots with some black or, you know, we will just have to wait and see. But I will just start out with you and then I will do the rest off camera because I don't think my battery will love me if I try to do all of this on camera. Yes, indeed, my darlings, now I am back and I have the molecular structure on my forehead. Yes, indeed. I do believe I fucked up somewhat right in this section because I do believe I forgot some sequences right there, but you know, who cares? I have the goddamn oxytocin molecule on my forehead. I am impressed with myself that I actually did this. It took me almost an hour to do all of this and it doesn't look that good as I hope it would. But you know, I need to use my forehead for something since it's so goddamn big I can die. And yes, now when I have done this, it's just highlighter left and then we are gonna say goodbye, my darlings. And because we are gonna be in dire need of tying all of this together in a nice little package, we are actually gonna go in with the WE7 Prismatic 3D highlighting palette. And I'm actually gonna use that purple highlighter right in the middle and I'm just gonna apply that to my face. Yes, indeed. And of course, now we've done that, we're just gonna add some of this Get Gorgeous highlighter from Technique. And it's a pure white and real lovely highlighter. It just gives that extra oomph it needs.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Now, my little darlings, it's just one thing left, and that is, of course, eyebrows. And to be a little easy today, we are just gonna use this brow pencil from
Wet and Wild.
because I'm so wet right now. And we are just gonna fill in our brows a little tiny bit quickly. Yes, indeed. I didn't actually get to use this Sofexters Nails palette, but I don't think it matters anyway, because this look is, you know...
horrendous, indeed.
And you know, I don't think I need some really snatched brows today. We will just make them a little tiny bit more defined than they are in real life. Yes, indeed, my darlings. Now we are actually done, because I'm tired as shit right now. I think you can notice that from this video. I am not my usual bubbly self. I just feel really weird from this, you know. withdrawal and everything. But it is soon over, my darlings. Not my life, but the withdrawal. So, you know, it's gonna be real nice when I can finally be myself again, you know. It will come an individual video about those pills. Yes, indeed. But please, my darlings, comment down below what you thought about this makeup look. It might not be the most extravagant or, you know, avant-garde or artsy-fartsy, but for me, doing something like this is, you know, a huge step in the right direction when it comes to expressing myself as an artist. Yes, indeed. And I hope you want to support me on that journey, of course. So before you go and comment down below, please don't forget to press that like, subscribe and notification icon so you can become a part of the DarlingSquad and the Digazmo family as well. Because I really want to have you here on my channel every time I upload. Yes, indeed. Which is on Thursdays and Tuesdays adjacent. And I will say, as I usually do, be who you are, since nobody else can. And I see you in the next one. Bye!